every fucking journalist always fucking asks about David Bowie, you know? It's your fault, not mine, you know? I don't make the questions, you know? So in this interview, there again, Bowie has arrived, you know, sort of thing. I'm not ashamed of, in any way whatsoever, of having worked with him. It was fantastic. We're not the only people that Bowie's worked with. You know, he's worked with a lot of people. He's worked with Pat Metheny. He's worked with Trent Reznor. He's worked with Tina Turner, for God's sake. You know, I don't think that every interview that Tina Turner does, that David Bowie comes up in it.
How can you be sure that Bulletproof Cupid is the perfect song to start sleeping with a ghost?
It's an instrumental. And it's so kind of ferocious and aggressive that I think it would have kind of broken up the flow of the rest of the album. It's a sonic slap in the face, you know, that song. So, and it's unexpected because people expect the vocals to come in, and they're gonna go, okay, now the vocals are gonna come in now. No, they didn't. Okay, they're gonna come in now, and they don't, you know, kind of thing. So, the listener is intrigued, I think, the first time that they hear it. And then the second song comes along, and it's very, very electronic, and so they don't know what the hell this album's going to sound like. So when they, you know, when they realize then they're going to have to listen to the whole record to sort of understand what's going on. You know, if you put a Sum 41 record on, by the second song, you know exactly what's going on. I'm a massive DJ Shadow fan, so when the phone call comes and goes, "Do you want to work with the guy who produces DJ Shadow?" You go, "Yes." You know, kind of thing. If he's not an asshole, we'll work with him. And there it goes, and he turned out to be a great guy. You don't choose to work with somebody who is incredibly creative and very talented and with a hugely influential pedigree and then put them in a cage, you know? It's very, very collaborative effort. So it's pretty 50-50. We're just kind of trying to strike an equilibrium between not turning our backs on what makes us quintessentially and uniquely Placebo, but at the same time trying to find something new to keep ourselves interested.
I'm wondering, where did you get Simon Breed to play harmonica on this album?
Simon Breed, who plays harmonica. Him and Steve used to be in a band together called Breed. Yeah, and he's the best harmonica player we know. So that's why we asked him to play harmonica. And he's so good now, every time I have to play the harmonica on stage, I curse him, you know, because his part is difficult to play, you know.
What about the period when making Sleeping with a Ghost?
It was a record that was made after the first break that we had in 7 years. We had 6 months off, and so we were able to, for the first time, to think about everything that had happened to us over all this time.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
And the upcoming re-release with the bonus CD?
Albums get re-promoted all the time. Every band kind of does it after like their third or fourth single, but most bands only kind of put on 2 or 3 extra tracks, you know, kind of thing. And we decided it would be more interesting to give them 10.
Since we're feeling so anesthetized and on.
If people want to download your record off the internet before it's put out and then go out and buy it, then that's fine. I'm a bit hurt by the fact that it's fans who put it on the internet, because what they're in effect what they're doing is that they're shooting themselves in the foot, you know, because how can their favorite band continue to make music if you don't buy their music, you know? You think you have a God-given right to get music for free? You think that because we are artists that we should lie in the gutter and stare at the stars with a needle hanging out of our arms, spouting great poetry? That romantic cliche is a crock of shit. What music fans have to understand is that if they keep demanding that their music is free, then the only way that bands will be able to pay the rent is by charging 350 euros to go to a concert. You know, you don't really make a lot of money from doing gigs if you want to keep it cheap for your fans. That's the thing. You know, if you want to be like the Rolling Stones and charge hundreds of dollars, you know, then that's fine. You know, we don't do that.